So before we give the wang, there's something called wang shi, which is explanation of the wang is given here. So it says that it says that when you are receiving the wang, your motivation should be not only for yourself, but for the liberation and benefit of all the sentient beings. In order to do that, I'm going to receive the Chizin white Manjushiri's initiation.
Hello, please quiet. Thank you.
So we should have the motivation that I'm going to receive Manjushiri Wang for the benefit of myself and all the sentient beings. And it further says that it is very difficult to get this human form, and even if you are born as a human being, just feet, so I think Sangi for MANJUSHIRI talk about it, to be as a human form, it's very difficult. So when you have the opportunity, then you have to appreciate how difficult it is to get a human form. And even though you have got a human form, there's no certainty when the death will happen. And you might think that when the death happens, I'm sure I'll have this life is very difficult, but if I die, maybe there will be a better life. But Buddha has said that when the time for death comes, you have to leave behind your wealth and your relative. But wherever you go, your karma will follow you. And according to your karma, you will experience happiness or suffering. You like a bird, when it flies out in the sky, you can't see the shadow, but as soon as it lands, you can see the shadow. It says that firstly, it's difficult to be born as a human being, and secondly, even if you have a human form, when will you die? There's no certainty, and every second it is not the time, but your life that is finishing every second. Your lifespan is finishing every second, and you might think that once I die, then I'll have a happiness. I'll be freed from my difficulty, but then that is not the case, because according to your karma, positive karma, negative karma, you will have different experiences. And then it says, what kind of experiences will I have? Then experiences of, for example, if you are someone who does a lot of good deeds, but a lot of pride about it, then you will be born into the God realm. If you are someone who does the good karma, but you are a very jealous person, then you will be born as a demigod. And if you are someone who does a lot of good karma, but also you have a lot of desire, then you are born as a human being. And if you do negative things out of ignorance, then you are born into animal realm. If you accumulate negative karma due to stinginess, then you are born into the hungry ghost realm. And whenever you do negative karma out of anger and hatred, one is born into the hell realm. So according to your karma, negative karma or positive karma, you will experience 6 realms. So that is why when one is receiving a practice, one should have an aspiration to, not only for this life, but to want to be liberated from the entire 6 realm. That sort of aspiration is recommended. And in order to Buddha Shakyamuni, in order to liberate the sentient being, Buddha knew that different people have different preferences, different karmic connection, different mentality. That's why he gave different teachings. So some he taught Theravada, some Mahayana, some Vajrayana. And this particular teaching is part of the Vajrayana practice. And in the Vajrayana also, we have the 4 kind of level of practice, Chagyu, Chogyu, Nenjur, Gyu. And this particular is the Chaju. That is why when you receive this initiation to be vegetarian, not to consume egg, etc., is recommended. Now this particular Manjushiri practice, where did it come from? And it is said that the Manjushiri actually got enlightened, even though Manjushiri or Jambayang is known as Chanchu Semba, but in reality he got enlightened even before, many eons before Buddha Shakyamuni. He got enlightened, and he got enlightened, but his pure realm is also said to be very miraculous and that thing. But he made a vow that even though I am enlightened, until every sentient beings have been liberated, I will work as the form of a bodhisattva, and then I will benefit the sentient beings. So, and in India now, this particular teaching came to India because one of the yogi, Mahayogi, 86 Mahasiddhas, Zetari Kalinambar, he saw he practiced the Manjushiri. He used to speak to Manjushiri like human to human, and then that was his main practice. And then one day Manjushiri came and told him that now this year you are 110 years old and you have a lifespan of another 10 years. So basically at 120 you are going to pass away. So from the Buddhist kind of evolutionary speaking, we say that in the past actually people had a longer life, and as we do more negative karma, human life becomes shorter and shorter, lifespan decreases. So in the past, during his time, anyway, this master lived to 110, and Manjushri said, now you have only 10 more years to live, so you should look for a very qualified student to pass on the teaching so that the teaching will not disappear. Then this Gobind Zetari, he looked around with his diva. He flew and he looked around and looked for someone who has a connection to receive the Manjushri teaching. And in the Magat, he saw a buffalo herder, and a very old buffalo herder. He saw that only that old man had a karmic connection to receive teaching from him. And then he told him, now do you want to, you have the karmic connection to Manjushri, please, why don't you do the Dhamma practice? Then that old man said that I am old, I am poor, I don't even know how to read, maybe in my next life I'll be your student. Please bless me. And this representative said, don't worry, even though you're old, your intelligence is dimmed, if you can do the Manjushiri practice, because of your past life karmic connection and Manjushiri blessing, within the 5 days you will become great and learn it. And then because of his own past karma, past accumulation, which was just about to be ripened, within the 5 days after receiving the Manjushiri teaching and practice, he became a great Pandita. The one who was illiterate, who couldn't even read and write, became one of the most learned, great learned Pandita Mati. And then again, that time again, he was given initiation, this time in the rightful Manjushiris, and given the practice and taken to Nalanda University and put into a monkhood. And then he said that then this person prostrated, even though because of your blessing I have become very learned, but now I am so old that I have no time to study, no time to study anyways. I rather want to do retreat and practice. Then his teacher told him that you have another 10 years, so, and I have a 10 year, I am supposed to live for another 10 years. So I have 2 years have passed, I have 8 years. So you have a lifespan of another 10 years. I'll give you 8 years for my life. So within these 18 years, you will definitely become enlightened. You must go and practice. So then after that, he practiced the Manjushiri, and he was able to, he saw the Manjushiri, he accomplished the Manjushiri practice, and he was able to become a great yogi who was able to benefit all sentient beings. So this is the kind of the history of where this teaching came from, Manjushiri teachings came from.
Please, backside is still noisy, please quiet. Thank you.
So, and then from that onwards, different masters, until my guru, all of them have practiced, and then given the pass on the lineage. So today, as requested by the Drupa USA, we are giving the Manjushiri, white Manjushiri's initiation and blessing. So now please repeat after me. This is to request the Guru inseparable from the Manjushiri for the Manjushiri initiation. Tuzum Sangye, Hamcheta, Hakbel Hai, Voni, Balden Lame, Kadingi, Ala Chenam, Zedus, Ala Chenam, Zedus, Ala Chenam, Zedus. Now you are advised to visualize in front of you a lotus, moon, on top of that white colored Manjushri. Right hand is this Manjushri is a little bit different form. So this Manjushri, right hand is the wish fulfilling jewel, and in the left hand is holding the upella flower, and on the top of the flower there is we call it the Sherab Nyingbo, the Get or Getomba, 8,000 stanza Heart Sutra teachings. This is carried by the Jambeyam because this represents Buddha's teaching about the emptiness and about the wisdom, about the nature of all phenomena, and basically talking about the emptiness and the Prajna Paramita. So since Manjushri is a representation of Buddha's wisdom, the pesha that he carries is also called Getomba. Getomba is what he is called. It's called Getomba. Getong means 8,000 because 4 sentences are called Sholoka. So in that Getomba there are 8,000 sentences, stanzas are there. Stanzas about teaching of the Heart Sutra are there, about the emptiness and non-existing nature of the phenomena. That is why the scripture that is there is called the Getomba. And Manjushri is wearing the jewel of the 5 crown, and then the hair knotted 3 times and adorned by the precious jewel on top of the knot, knotted 3 times, and wearing the crown, and about 18 years old, and wearing the ornaments and having all the signs of the Buddha, and surrounded by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then it says that this time, whatever negative karma you have done till now, you have done from your body to harm other people. Whatever you have done, such as killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, etc. From your speech, what have you done that hurt other people, such as lying, harsh words, causing division, gossiping. From your mind, wish to hurt other people, coveting others, wrong views, etc. Whatever from negative mind, what I can remember, what I can't remember, I regret. And in the future, from now on, even at the cost of my life also, I will not do such negative karma, because the consequence of this negative karma are unbearable. So with that sort of the thing, and then you take refuge in the Manjushiri for yourself and for all the sentient beings to get enlightened. So please, with that understanding, please repeat after me the refuge in Bodhicitta. Sangye Chodam, Sogi Chonamla, Chanchu Bardo, Adi Gyapsuchi, Agi Chinso, Yipe Sonam, Lola Penchil, Sangye Drubar Show, Sangye Chodam, Sogi Chonamla, Chanchu Bardo, Adi Gyapsuchi, Agi Chinso, Yipe Sonam, Lola Penchil, Sangye Drubar Show, Sangye Chodam, Sogi Chonamla, Chanchu Bardo, Adi Gyapsuchi, Agi Chinso, Yipe Sonam, Lola Penchil, Sangye Drubar Show. So the next one, you are supposed to relax your mind a bit, and then visualize yourself transforming into the Jambaya. If you are not familiar with this particular Manjushri, you can visualize the normal one. The white Manjushri, right hand is holding a sword representing that wisdom will cut through all the ignorance, and ignorance can never cut the wisdom. And then the left hand holding the flower, on the butt of the flower there is a scripture of the 8,000 Prajnaparamita, Sutra of Prajnaparamita. You visualize yourself like that, and then from the Guru and the Manjushri, the Kinkor invites the Jambeyam and then dissolve into you. Thousands of Manjushri come and dissolve into each one of you. First, one more supplication. This supplication, meaning of the supplication is that whenever I want to see Manjushri, whenever I want to listen to you, ask some questions, may I have the blessing to see the Manjushri. So you might feel that, oh, I am just an ordinary person, why will I make this kind of prayer? But every prayer you do creates a karmic connection. For example, what do you call it? In India, there was a great learned master whose main deity was the Cherezi Avadokdeswara. He was called the Chandrakriti or Chandrabhumin. So, but he was a lay person, he was not a monk. So then one day, but he is a very learned person, very learned and realized master. So one day he was invited to Nalanda University, I think it's Nalanda University, by one of the great master called Chandrakriti, who himself was blessed by the Manjushri. So when he was coming, when he was invited, it is said that because there is a tradition that if the other person is a lay person, very realized, but he's been invited by a monastic order. So for a monk to directly invite lay people was considered disrespectful to the monastic order. So they kept a statue of Manjushri in the front, and behind that the Chandrabhumin he wrote. And then all the thousands of monks, they invited him with a deep respect. So that time, anyway, then he came, and it is said that the Chandrabhumin was such a, realized and that when he wrote a complimentary about the Manjushri statue, even the Jambeyam statue turned around and said, do I really have such good qualities? So anyway, when he went to the, then they had, in India it was tradition to have a debate. So whenever during the daytime, the Chandrakrit, the Dawatapa will win because he was very sharp and he was blessed by Manjushri. But tomorrow there will always be an answer, and he will get the right answer. So when Dawatapa was very curious, how does he get his answer overnight? And then one day when he was spying on the Chandrakrit, he saw that from the wall, Avalokiteshvara was coming alive and speaking to him. And then as soon as Dawatapa went inside and said, Avalokiteshvara, why are you so impartial, so partiality? Why don't you, I also want to see you? And then, it is said that because he was in the middle of a conversation, the Cherizim also statue became frozen like that. So before in the Nalanda they could see that. So then he wanted to see, but that statue, the Cherizim became frozen. So then when Dawatapa, he prayed to the Cherizim, he said, I want to see you also. And then Avalokiteshvara said that, you will see me in your dream, but your life and lifetimes, your yidam, your deity, your connection is with the Manjushiri. Papa Jambeyam is your karmic connection. That is why that is to whom you should be praying. That is your past life connection. So that's why all these aspirations that we are doing, it creates a karmic connection. That is why that buffalo herder, within 5 days he was able to realize, because in the past time he has accumulated all the karma, all the blessings, so that he was very ripe for within a short time. That is why even some people get realization very quickly, some take a lot of time, because it also depends on past lives accumulation. So anyway, the prayer that you will be repeating, its meaning is this: whenever I want to see, whenever I want to ask something, you, the protector of all the beings, Manjushiri, may I be able to see you whenever I want and get your blessing. Concept our deba, chungse tiwar benaya, kumbo jamyang tingini, JIGME barni thongwar show. So now remain in the nature mind for a moment, and from there arise into the Manjushri, and then from the Guru and the Kingor Manjushri invites Chizun Jambeyam, and from his pure and thousands of Chizun Jambeyam, and dissolve into you like a water merged with the water. Om Subhava Shuddha Sarvadharma Subhava Shuddha Shegi Cheba Yarno Nikumbo Hamna Kijana Jimmy or so Jesu Pamna Yazu Karshin Tamba, Tani was singing games, Nambushi, Suiting with the Nasa Children of the game to be the music, Pam Jambu, the baby, the Ramana said the children, the Masu, everything. Other than the young Kashimia, David can under me singing or eating or Akar, which is the given the department of the Papa Joyce, the Vietnam Jig, the children, the only Canada, the Papa Jamea. Undokar was the children, he let me know the shades of a child, really negative country. Contact given the competition with other wishing and tongue checking and came to the show or in the Derrick on Jamea, so see which is the Jamea, should get on the Latin member. There can not say, Jambe and do Jambe cannot visualize that Manjushri and dissolve each and every one of your each one. Sangye Kunje Kuchewa, Sangye Kunje confidence. Sangye Kunje Kuchewa, Sangye Kunje Kuye, Sangye Kuye Chena Benja, Mayami Kutor Show. Zahu Mahmo, Mahmo, Zahu Mahmo.
Wait,
Zahum bam ho, 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 zahum bam ho. Tedara wangu vekiran di jambe ni kuda yeme di kuichi suna watoga yino. Tedara jeba na pe number is. So he says that there are two benefits from receiving the physical blessing of the Jambiya. Temporarily, right now, to have a good health, to have a good health is, and then in the and whenever someone sees you, just by seeing your appearance, your image, people will feel devoted. People will feel inspiration, and that is the temporary blessing of the Manjushiri's form. And then in the future, you will also become like a Manjushiri, whose form is fully enlightened form, to obtain that in the future. These are the two benefits of the physical form. The next one is the speech blessing. In order to receive the speech blessing, we all do the congregated prayer. Senden kedi, Kerabo Zelgi, Adutimo, Bimbarab Selde, Adam Tenju, Lukudobe, Edrebobe, Nawatzedusu, which means that you who have compassion, by your blessing, may all the darkness and ignorance in my mind be dispelled. May I have the wisdom to understand all the Buddha's teachings and the commentaries, and may I have a confidence to understand all the knowledge and all the wisdom. May I be granted by you. Lama Jambe also said, then from the Manjushiri that you have visualized from his heart, the letter R, and then surrounded Om Arapazanati, Om Vagishurima, and Om Vagita, all the mantra comes out, enters from your mouth and stays inside your heart. And they use the Jambishi. So after receiving the speech blessing, temporary blessing is to become learned in writing, debating, composition, and in the future to attain the Manjushiri speech. The next one is to request for the blessing of the mind. So it says that may I have the wisdom to not to stay in the samsara, but may I also have the compassion so that I don't just I don't hesitate to come back to samsara to benefit the sentient being. So may I, and the mind of the Manjushiri that is beyond the samsara and nirvana, I pray to you. Please repeat after me. Shepe sila mineshin, inje shila mineba, nyangem de gampor mine, jamyam tula sewa de. Now for the mind initiation, if you can, you are supposed to, those of you who are sitting on the floor should, do the Doji Kitron. If you don't know, at least keep your back straight, spine straight. Okay. And in front of you, around your forehead, in front of you, visualize the letter A. Like this, A, white colored, about the size of the grain. And keep your mind focused on the letter A and repeat with me 21 times while keeping your mind as focused on just on the white letter A in front of you, 1 meter in front of you. white letter in front of you. So letter R represents the non-existing. That is why, for example, in the Sanskrit, whenever you want to put a negate word, they always put A. For example, sambhav means possible. Asambhav means impossible. Asambhav. So the word A represents the non-existing part. Asambhav, A. So A represents that, the negate word in the sense that all the phenomena are non-existent. And because it's non-existing, everything is possible. For example, if this building, Gulshan Terrace, was truly existing, then you can never do any renovation. It will always be Gulshan Terrace. But because it is not existing, but due to cause condition, you can increase it. You can make, if the city allows it, you can increase the height. It can become, today is a temple, tonight is dinner, tomorrow maybe a party here, I don't know. Right? Many things can happen because the Gulshan Terrace is non-existing. The identity of the Gulshan Terrace is also non-existing. So that is why when you understand the emptiness, you understand the possibility. Everything arises due to nothing having inherent reality. So that is why the word R represents the shunyata, the non-existing part. So after saying the R, then they visualize that R also dissolve into the spaciousness and remain in the nature for 1 minute. Then the benefit of receiving the mind initiation means, for temporary, your mind will be turned towards the spirituality. In the future, for you to understand all the external knowledge, in the knowledge there is, it is called, the knowing variety of knowledge and knowing the nature of the knowledge. For knowing the variety of the knowledge means, for example, I understand this is a flower, this is a tree, this is a cloth, this is a, the banana. You understand all the variety. Similarly, there is the medicine, art, poetry, architecture, science, so many, the variety of the nature is called the variety of the knowledge of the variety. And knowledge of the nature means that whether it is the building, whether it is the apple or the flower, if you break down into its, the quantum and the subatomic level, you understand that none of the things have inherent reality. It arises due to cause condition. In its nature, no phenomena has an inherent identity. Everything can be broken down into the undefinable or nothingness. So that is called realizing the nature. So these are the two qualities that Buddhas have. Usually we, for example, we know a lot of things, but we don't really know the nature of the things, right? For example, we have a lot of emotion, but we don't really know the nature of the emotion, where they come from, where does emotion, happiness come from, where does it go, where does sadness come from, where does it go, what is the nature of the sadness? We don't know about the nature. So wisdom, there's two. One is called the variety, and one is called knowing the nature. So it is said that by the blessing of the MANJUSHIRI, not only will you know many things, but you will know the true nature of the things. Now to have the quality and activity like a MANJUSHIRI to benefit sentient beings, please make this request. Shima Changchung Matobar, Chongdeng Jamia, Gwegini, Agilaman Zedus, Agilaman Zedus, Agilaman Zedus. This is the sutra of the MANJUSHIRI called Jambet Senju. So it says that this sutra is a few words, but meanings are profound. All the hundreds and thousands of the Buddha's teaching, the essence of the highest essence is in here. So those who listen to this, those who contemplate and practice, will soon become like a MANJUSHIRI. So from henceforth, you all should also study the Manjushiri's mantra, recite the Manjushiri's mantra, whichever, and then may you become learned, full of compassion and wisdom, and be able to benefit the sentient being. Jambeyangi gyutse yangdabra choba shejo tsikyunga tenzo gide tamji yangze gide jismo dile dile nyamsuna chidun jambeyangi goba gyudu toba gide kerana ngi twesam gide nyamsuno shenla temba de sheba gide simchenga tendo bangyur gi she. It says that with this blessing, in the temporary you will become well learned in all the science and the knowledges. In the future you will have the qualities of the Manjushiri and benefit all the sentient beings. Yeah, to our good in the chili, and that what to buy in the Karanam Jin Jambi and Chinadi. Pain should be given to some jing to the money, let's have a job on temper charity. The Chende says that from whatever the merits we have received from giving the Manjushiri teaching, initiation, receiving it, we dedicate it to benefit all the sentient beings. All the sentient beings' ignorance will be dispelled, and they will truly understand what are the true source of happiness and suffering, and be attain the state of Manjushiri. Didukpale chungwaye gewadagi kantoba di kewo tamjege jamyang shirab tobar sho jamyang shirab tobar sho jamyang shirab tobar sho zoi chidrakatseba datam jedagege zoi chidrakatseba datam jedagege datam jedagege dara chizin jamyang kusum de internet channel ge samo de zin bachi de ko chusim pai ka tin tara ge and JIGME water
history related to that which will come later. So externally Manjushiri are great. Is known as the Sherab or the wisdom, and the wisdom is to add conditions. When the current situation changes, our perfect life also begins to change. You fix everything, but after some time, because whatever we have fixed due to cause and conditions, and all these conditions come together, then the rain falls. If without practice and then given the pass on the lineage. So today, as requested by the Drupa USA, we are giving the Manjushri